Let me ask you something, dear viewer. Why do we pursue adventure? What is it about adventure that makes our brains light up? It feels like plans for adventure invaded our dreams at one point. Any setbacks causing us distress. Has a dream of adventure done this to you?
My longest sail to date has been around 70 to 75 nautical miles, and that's the trip that I did with Captain Kareem to take Satori home to Gulf Harbor Marina from Fitianga.
You may call out words of freedom in response. Freedom from things that cannot, surely do not really matter. But as I have found, freedom in one way is binding in another, and in some ways just an illusion, especially in the modern day.
Today, I'm ready to do my longest sail to date, almost 200 nautical miles from Akaroa down in the middle of the South Island to the top of the South Island, Picton. I am so excited.
Maybe it's the unexpected, taking us in directions we could not have imagined, and the pleasure of such events not being tainted by the unnecessary need to follow plans on a schedule. You know, I'd say it's all of those. The push to one extreme so that we may also enjoy the other that is inaccessible otherwise. The clarity of mind, purification of the soul, it takes us to the now, pushes our worries aside. You must change the sail. You must retrieve that lost fender. You must eat some food.
We are following a change in winds from a northerly to a southerly, and unfortunately, that means that we have heaps of rain.
It may not be the more recognizable, identifiable mountain climbing, skiing, or running a marathon, but sailing is an adventure just the same. And my expectations were that this adventure would heal me.
It's been raining all morning, but I'm prepared to handle the worst, to be uncomfortable, wear my nice sturdy jacket, and yeah, maybe learn a little bit. So we just had a northerly pass, didn't we?
Yeah, we've been waiting for it to go past so that we can have a much easier trip up the coast.
Yeah, what kind of conditions are we looking for? You said on the beam, right?
On the beam's preferable, but behind the beam, that's all good. It's as long as the wind's not too strong.
Yeah. What are the key points in the sail that you're looking out for? Obviously, cook straight, right?
Oh dear, I love this stuff way too much. All right, so firstly, we have the Cook Strait, waters that are notorious. One of the hardest passages in all of New Zealand. And that's because if you don't time it right, you can get currents up to 7 knots. And in a boat that has a max hull speed of 8.5 knots, that means your max speed would be 1.5 knots. And for those who are not sailors, that's 1.7 miles per hour, or 2.8 kilometers per hour. Try getting out of the way of a big ferry ship at that speed. Now, to add to the complications, imagine you timed it so that you had 20 to 30 knot winds and 2+ meters swell following behind you. But you were also going against the 7 knot current. So in addition to the slow speed, you'd also have 3 forces, wind, swell, and current, meeting each other head to head. And the result would be giant waves crashing over your bow, potentially knocking you off course and into a deadly obstruction. Now, there's a really interesting explanation for why the currents get so strong on Cook Strait, but you're gonna have to wait a few episodes for that.
Guys, I'm getting pretty stoked. Tomorrow's the day. We head off. My longest passage to date, 180 nautical miles. I'm so excited. So, I'm just gonna try to sleep. It's gonna be really hard to sleep. Yeah. make sure you take off all your rings and stuff because you don't want them getting caught and stuff as you're sailing. Captain Mark doesn't need me. He does this by himself all the time. See ya, Akira! Bye-bye!
At first, I really enjoyed the sail. The rain let up, the swell wasn't too bad, the air was clean and fresh.
Well, we finally turned off the motor and now we're just cruising along, and oh my god, I love sailing so much. It's great when the engine turns off. For me, it's about the smell. The smell of diesel and gas is just makes me a bit nauseated, but now it's just clean, fresh air. It's freaking awesome.
And to top it off, albatross started appearing everywhere. Albatrosses are the world's largest seabirds. They have a wingspan of up to 3.5 meters and are recorded to live up to 50 years old. They spend at least 85% of their lives at sea, returning to land, usually remote islands, to breed and raise their young. They can glide for miles on end without flapping their wings a single time and can smell food 12 miles off the coast. It's estimated that albatross fly 118,000 miles per year and is capable of swooping speeds of at least 70 miles per hour. Unfortunately, though, naturally low productivity combined with changes in climate and habitat conditions, as well as certain fishing practices, make these seabirds highly vulnerable. If you find sick or injured albatrosses, please make sure they're not being harassed and contact the Department of Conservation.
Pivo, that was not cool. Not cool at all. Not cool, Pivo. You can't poop in people's houses because they don't let you on the couch.
By the way, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons to help keep this content going and be notified when the next episode comes out. The numerous albatrosses made up for the less than ideal weather conditions for the first few hours of the trip. However, Mother Nature was wiser than just make it easy on us. She knew I was there for more. I wanted to experience the pain of surviving in a harsh environment, for it felt like any pain I would suffer could be nothing compared to the previous year. It felt like if I were to survive whatever harshness Mother Nature threw at me on this trip, in a setting so close to nature and our basic survival instincts, that I'd gain a renewed sense of confidence and remember that I can handle. No, I handled all that came at me. What would otherwise be normal everyday activities become extraordinary missions of not being thrown across the boat.
It is the weirdest sensation being able to hear water flow past your head while you're trying to sleep. It feels so close, it almost feels like it's in the boat. So, yeah, super weird, but guess I'm gonna be lulled to sleep with the waves. Hey guys. Well, it's my first night watch ever, and yeah, we're going 6 knots right now, and we're going about looks like 20 degrees. I don't actually know how to say that, but we are going 20 degrees. That's our direction.
Epic fail.
Yeah, wind is just off front of our beam. It's cold. It's freaking cold, but yeah. Been feeling a little nauseated, but I've gotten through it and took a nap and it went away, and now it's just coming back as I woke up again, but I think it's just because of a wee bit of nervousness, so yeah, that's it.
I had kept my optimism up so far, but the night watch was determined to challenge me. The inability to see heightened my ability to hear and feel, and the waves seemed to take on monstrous sound, and the boat appeared to be at a tipping point. Surely it could not withstand these angles. But alas, I knew the science of a sailboat, and being on head sail alone, I knew it would be easy for me to furl her in safely from the cockpit if I truly started to feel unsafe.
Alright, so today we're reviewing a milk stout by Castles, a Christchurch brewery. We don't normally review milk stouts, but a viewer requested that we do, and I'm glad they did. This is actually really delicious. Yeah, it's got a strong coffee chocolate flavor that hits you up front, with the lingering kind of a sweetness from the lactose and the dried fruit. It's overall a really good beer, balanced out by some malts, which Castles is kind of known for having a lot of malts. Well done, Castles. Thank you.
Fair visibility in showers, clearing in the morning. Outlook following 3 days. Monday, southeast 1, 5 knots, but 2, 5 knots, north of Pivo Point. Sea rough in the north. Moderate southwest swell. Tuesday, becoming southeast.
So we're 20 nautical miles from Cape Campbell, and then just around the corner to Tory Channel. So not too long now, and we're
Another 30.
hauling ass. You like to go fast, eh?
Nah, I just like to go smooth.
In my mind, I'll pretend it's quick.
Our quick speed, even on just a furled head sail, meant that we were approaching the entrance to Tory Channel much sooner than we expected. We had 2.6 meter following swell, 30 knots of wind behind us, and we had a 4-knot current pushing us into Tory Channel. And yet, Captain Mark was sure both the boat and himself could safely get us through the narrow passage.
We're sailing through the Cook Strait. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be, but it's definitely not fun. Well, maybe it's a little fun.
By the way, Captain Mark came to be highly recommended from Vicky from Island Cruising and said, if you're also looking to crew on a boat, drop her a line. So because of Captain Mark's confidence, I was able to stay calm too. And that calmness in both of us kept us alert, aware, and able to respond to the conditions. That, in my experience, is the mark of a good captain. Get it? Mark? Captain Mark? Mark of River Captain? Here's the thing. Mother Nature doesn't care if you have faith in your boat or skills. Anything could have happened to us as we entered that channel. But it all becomes worth it when you have the risk, you face it, and then you watch as the wind and swell begin to die as you make it to safe waters. Feelings of accomplishment, pure pleasure, and ecstasy for life started to take over. I did it, I thought. A passage I had been told to be well beyond my limits. I had a ways to go before I'd be fully healed, but in this journey, I had gained a wee sliver of confidence. Maybe, one day, I would even cross an ocean.